Like everything else in our increasingly digital lives, the sport of hunting has been infused with tech. Laser rangefinders, electronic wind monitors, and Wi-Fi trail cameras are just a few innovations that allow hunters to make cleaner kills at longer distances. Even the bow and arrow have been seriously upgraded.
Has a lighted G5 sight on it, dampeners on it to get the vibration out, dampeners, hydraulic dampeners. Once you take the vibration out of them, you can shoot them a lot better, a lot nicer, a lot more smooth. It has a smooth draw on it with a peep on the back. Anybody can walk off the street in an hour, shoot a bow as good as I am right here. Maybe not as proficient, but pretty close. They've engineered all the stuff that used to screw you up before. They've engineered it all out of the bow.
But there's a growing minority of hunters nationwide that are shelving their modern weapons in favor of recurved bows, slings, and even atlatls. For those unfamiliar with the latter, it's a throwing weapon that Paleolithic hunters used to take down woolly mammoths. It was also used by the Aztec, which is where the word atlatl comes from. Armed with this tidbit of trivia, I hopped a flight to St. Louis to talk with Brian Wagner. I wanted to find out why an aerospace worker that helps to build F-18 fighters is going primitive. Brian has already bagged 4 whitetails since Missouri opened big game to atlatl hunting in 2010. Currently, only 3 states actually allow deer hunting with atlatls. Meanwhile, his wife Dawn, a top atlatl competitor, practices daily in hopes of harvesting her first deer.
Could have taken my first deer with the bow out here, and I did not bring it. I did not want to. There's a lot of women out there who can go out and harvest with a bow or a gun. There has not been a woman yet who has harvested with an atlatl.
So you can taste it. I do enjoy a good challenge, and I think that's what I really enjoy about the atlatl more than anything else is the challenge you get out of it.
Are those 2 deer heads from your atlatl kills?
No, those were all bow kills in the great room. They're fox, the turkeys. I still love it very much. I can pick it up out of the case and go hit a milk jug every shot at 50 yards. But my atlatl,
I'd rather go with
can't.
my atlatl.
I do too. It is. It's fun because it's as primitive as about you're going to get. Really, minus throwing a rock at something, you know. And I don't know. I think that's just. I wouldn't throw a rock at a deer. But this is really fun to hunt with. It is a challenge, and like I said, it makes you learn the deer more, and that's what interests me. Not only it's the harvest, it's about learning how to be a hunter, an ethical hunter, and being able to learn from it. Each time I go out, I learn, and I think that's really important.
And then at 20, I don't know, I just have a hard time getting it there.
Okay, let's do it.
On Saturday, I shot over to Boonville, which is 2 hours west of St. Louis. The Missouri Atlatl Association was hosting a regional competition and flint knapping event. That's where I met John Whitaker, a professor of anthropology from Grinnell College in Iowa. He's an expert on prehistoric technologies, and he has a lot of first-hand experience with the atlatl. In fact, he was competing.
Almost everywhere, people used atlatls before they had bows and arrows. So the earliest ones we know are from Paleolithic France. This is the period of the cave paintings and things. And they date something like 20,000 years ago.
Why do you think the atlatl disappeared?
Well, bows have a lot of advantages. They're smaller, they're lighter, they shoot a faster projectile that's flat, so it's easier to aim. And I think most importantly, they're easier to learn and to aim with. With these, it's a throw, so there's an awful lot of human variability in every throw. It takes a lot of practice to get as good as some of these guys out here. At close range, which is what prehistoric people hunted at, it can be just as accurate, but it takes a lot more work to get that accurate.
There's no sights on this thing, so you're at a mechanical disadvantage immediately. You're relying on your motor skills and your synapses in your brain to harvest this animal with these kinds of weapons. It's a very spiritual thing with the sling especially, because if you're not in your zone, then you can hurt yourself pretty good, like, taking a lot of bumps and bruises and whatnots. I've even almost strangled myself with a walnut and a sling. So you got to be centered.
And why it's so difficult is, number one, you've got to get them super close. The 15 meters is too far. I won't throw the deer that far because my accuracy isn't, I want to know that I make a clean kill. A trick that I learned years ago, the ultimate scent cover-up is a skunk. Skunk odor, deer aren't afraid of it. And the boys found out I'd done this, but found a roadkill skunk, fresh roadkill. I had a Walmart, a little plastic bag, put the skunk in the bag, took it hunting with me. I take the skunk and I place it upwind and let its natural scent drift over mine. Excellent cover up. And because the next evening the wind would be different, I'd get my bag and move it around, and the guys said they could just picture me out there packing that skunk. And when the skunk scent gets where it's not too strong, you energize him a little more, you give him a kick.
Overall, the atlatl is still pretty fringe when compared to other categories that make up the $38.3 billion a year hunting industry. But for Steve Spencer, who's hunted with more traditional weapons throughout his entire life, his biggest challenge may be coming to terms with the fact that he's an atlatl hunter in the 21st century.
I don't like for people to see what I'm packing in the woods. I mean, I know they talk about this crazy old man out there with a spear. And so I will try to time it. I'll leave my dart and my equipment in the back of the truck until there's no cars, and then I grab them and I run to the timber. And then when I come out, I have to wait. I wait until there's no cars, and then I run back out because I know, I think, oh, they talk about me. They say, well, he's nuts, you know. And you'll never get one, and I might not. But hey, it's on my bucket list is to take one.
Back at the Wagner farm on Sunday in Truxton, I finally give the atlatl a try. Now, you probably can't see it in the cam phone footage, but I threw my first dart around 45 yards with a respectably flat trajectory. By the third throw, I could totally see the appeal. I enjoy shooting sports and have actually owned compound bows. Hell, I've even owned a crossbow, briefly, which was medieval compared to what I saw at Bass Pro. But the atlatl was still different. It was instinctually more satisfying. There were no bionics, no cheats, just me using a stick to throw a stick. This is Dennis Nishi for Playboy.